Welcome to Norsemen Notebook. I'm Blake Weinkoff.
I'm Mr. Peter.
And today we're going to have a quick discussion on the 8th grade musical. So my thoughts on this musical at the beginning, I felt a little bit disappointed because I had no idea what it was, but the more I've heard about it and the more music I've actually listened to, I'm more excited about it. So tell us about why you kind of made this pick.
Yeah, so I knew that it would be a risk to pick something that all the 8th graders haven't heard of before. This show came out in June of this year, just brand new. So we're going to be one of the first schools, especially in America, to do it because this is an Australian-based show. So I wanted something new, something modern, something cool. And I think that the more we dig into it, the more you guys are going to realize, like, oh, this is the difference between modern and really old school musicals.
Yeah.
Something that gets kids excited. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. And I know that based on like the cast, I think most people have been pretty good about it. I haven't seen very many people that have been upset. Mm-hmm. Tell us about how like hard it was to do that, because I know you've spoken on how hard it was.
Yeah. It's one of the jobs that I hate the most as a teacher, even though I know it's like important to do. But one of my philosophies as a person is that if I'm, teaching you how to be a musician or an actor or whatever, I want to give everyone a fair shot, a shot that like everyone could be successful. And one of the things that comes with that is not setting up kids to fail. So what I mean by that is if someone's not ready to be the main lead, if they're not ready to do that just yet, maybe we put them in a smaller role and have them shine in that position. Trying not to set someone up to not necessarily embarrass themselves, but bite off more than they can chew. You know what I mean? I don't want people to have a bad experience in my class, and that's kind of the way that we go through those decisions, and it sucks. It takes forever for us to just sit and debate, because we have two other directors. Mm-hmm. So me and the other two directors, we sit and we debate about who would be good in this spot, who would act the part, who could sing the part, who could dance the part, all that stuff. Yeah.
So what, besides the musical, what has been your favorite piece that you think that the 8th grade or the 7th and 8th grade has done this year?
Ooh, I love DSE Ray. It's hard as all get out. It's not a middle school level song. It's straight up like a high school level song. And I knew that throwing it at you would be really tough. Same thing with Gloria, but also like DSE Ray in general. It's tough. It's fast. It's angry. But there's not many songs that you would ever sing that's like that.
Yeah.
It's so different than every other, like other choir songs are trying to be pretty and sweet or happy and big and loud. This thing is supposed to be angry and like throwing fire at the things. So it's just a different change of pace that I think you guys really handled well at your first concert.
I would agree. It was a harder song, but I think that we got to put it together really well. Mm-hmm. So what kind of made you decide that you wanted to be a choir teacher? Was that one of your main thoughts when you were coming out of high school? Or?
That's a great question. I knew that I wanted to be a teacher because in, elementary, middle school, it was rough. I was not the most popular kid by any means. I wasn't. My dad had died when I was just starting middle school. And so I had a lot of just rough things going on. And I didn't really have a lot of friends. And I found success at school. I found that I could be successful at grades. I could be successful in sports and that sort of stuff. I was in band all through middle school and all through high school. I didn't start choir until I was a junior in high school. Mm-hmm. And I knew that I was good at playing the baritone. I was a baritone player. Yeah. I knew that I was good at that, but I was like, I can't see myself being a band teacher. It doesn't fit that way. So my original plan was to be a math teacher. Because I'm pretty good at math, and I've always been, it just made sense in my brain. But then I joined choir my junior year. My choir teacher caught me when I was trying to audition for the musical. I was more trying to be, you know, an actor.
Uh-huh.
Because I liked being in plays and stuff, and I just had never sang before. And he was like, why don't you come to my office, 6th period. What do you do during that time? And I had taken an online history course. I was taking like college courses then. So I was like, I'm not doing anything. I just have my online history course. And he's like, you're coming to choir. And so he was playing. I remember him pulling me into his office and he started playing the piano. And he's like, have you ever seen Aladdin? And I was like, yeah, I've seen it. So he starts playing Part of Your World. Or what's the song? The one on the magic carpet.
Yeah.
Well, I don't remember what it was. But he starts playing that song and he's like, just sing along with me. And I open my mouth and I start singing and he stops and he says, you're joining choir. You're way too good at this to not be in it right now. And I was like, what are you talking about? I'm, 17 and I had never sang before. I'd sang when I was really little in elementary school, but I hadn't done any of that stuff. So he pulled me in. And then within a month of that, he made me join the audition chamber choir at my school. Choir was huge at my school. I graduated with 117 in my class, and there was 110 people in the 11th and 12th grade choir. Jeez. So it's just one of those things where singing was the thing that people did at my school. And that's the thing that I'm really excited about being here, is that singing seems to be most people's things here. It very much feels like home. So that's kind of where I got to being a music teacher in general. I just, I got sniped by the high school choir teacher. He brought me in, so.
Yep. Just one last question. Mm-hmm. What do you think has been your favorite memory here at your old story so far?
There's so many. I don't talk about it with you guys as much, but a lot of my close friends from college graduated from Roland Story. I'm originally from Minnesota, so I had no idea about the school district before I moved to Iowa to go to college. Okay. And a lot of my college friends ended up going to the same college as me from this district. And I noticed how so many of them were such amazing people. Like, I could name a dozen of people that graduated from the school that I was really close friends with in college. Like, even roommates, people that I sang in choir with, all that stuff. And when the job came up, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, this is exactly where I want to be. So I remember going to apply for the job. It was like February 14th or whatever was the cutoff date for submitting your application. February 13th, I had gotten all my stuff together. I was so excited to submit. I went to the website where you submit your application and it was gone. Like, the application was gone off of the website. And I was like, no, this is like exactly where I want to be. So I had 2 computers at that time. This is like a blessing in disguise. I opened up my second computer, which I knew had that open, and I didn't refresh that page. So I was still able to submit my application, even though it was closed on the official website. And I just crossed my fingers that they would have gotten my application. And the next morning, Adam Hubert at the high school called me and said, we'd like you for an interview. And I was like, there's no way. This is so awesome. And I walked in for the interview, and I had never been more confident for something in my life. Like, I knew I walked in the door and I was like, this is where I'm supposed to be. Yeah. Because at that time, I don't know if you remember, Kowalski, Mrs. Kowalski was the secretary. And she happens to be the mom of one of my friends from college. So I walk in the front door and I'm like, hey, Mrs. Kowalski, it's nice to see you. And she's just so excited to see me. And I walked in and I knew that this was the place for me. So if I had to pick a best memory, it was literally that first day where I was just like, it fits perfectly. Like, I just feel like I'm meant to be here, and I'm meant to teach music here, and I'm meant to get kids excited about singing and just being good people, because all those good people that I met before I came here is just a testament to the good kids that are going to be coming out of Roland Story, because there's so many good people that are going to do such awesome things.
All right. Thanks for your time, Mr. Peter.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yep. All right. This is Norsemen Notebook. We see you next week.